Grace and peace to you, Pinehurst United Methodist. This morning we're going to continue teaching you some spiritual disciplines that we hope will help guide you in your faith. These disciplines have been gifts to the church for thousands of years, and they've helped to strengthen people to be self-directed in their knowledge of God. During this in-between time when we can't gather on Sunday morning, we want to empower you in this way, to be self-directed as well. Last week, Pastor Sarah taught you about the ancient practice of Lectio Divina, that tradition of savoring the Scripture, allowing God to speak a word or a series of words to you. This morning, I want to teach you about a practice of prayer known as the Daily Examen. The Daily Examen was a prayer tradition created by St. Ignatius of Loyola. He would pray this prayer twice every day, once at lunchtime and once in the evening before bed. He believed that this prayer helped him to reflect upon his day and notice those moments when God was present to him, and also those moments when God felt absent. Ignatius felt that this prayer was so important, in fact, that even if a Christian practiced no other form of prayer, he believed they should pray the Daily Examen. The Daily Examen has 5 simple parts. The first step in the Daily Examen is to express gratitude. Express gratitude in all the ways God has blessed you. Take time to pause and reflect upon those moments when other people have shown kindness to you, those moments when God has shown favor to you. As a wise person once said, there is always, always, always something to be grateful for. So what are you grateful for today? That's the first step in the examen. Step 2 is to review your day. Go by hour and hour and look back upon your day and take stock of what has happened. Pay attention to those moments when you sense God's presence. Pay attention to those moments when you felt God's absence. Now you might ask yourself, do I really need to review my day? After all, don't we know what went on in our day? And the answer is sometimes no. Sometimes life gets so busy we don't remember. So take time to pause, rewind, and reflect on how God has been present to you. Step 3, to express sorrow. Ask yourself the question, what are you sorry about today? In what ways have you failed to live up to your best self? In what ways have you disappointed others? This is a step of humility, where we admit that we are all broken creatures, that we all fall short of God's goodness and God's grace. So we name that in this step, and we acknowledge that we need God's forgiveness. That leads us to step 4, ask for forgiveness. Take time and ask God to forgive you for those moments of mistake and those failings. Take time to ask yourself the question whether or not you need to offer forgiveness to someone else, or if there is someone in your life you need to be reconciled with. And this is a step where we take time to offer liberation to ourselves and to others, so that we don't have to be bound with that sense of guilt anymore. And finally, step 5 is to pray for grace. Ask for God's grace to give you the strength for whatever you will face in the coming day. Ask for God to reveal God's self to you in those holy moments in the hours to come. And those are the 5 steps. Take time to express gratitude. Take time to review your day. Take time to express sorrow and ask for forgiveness. And lastly, take time to pray for grace. A priest by the name of Jim Martin once told a story of 2 fish that got into a conversation in the ocean. The younger fish asked the older fish, "Tell me, sir, where is the ocean?" "The ocean?" the older fish said. "The ocean, it's all around you. The ocean is what we breathe in and what we breathe out. The ocean is everywhere you go." "Oh no," the younger fish said, "that's water. I know what water is. What I'm looking for is the ocean." "You're looking for the ocean," he said. "You don't have to look for the ocean." "No," the older fish said, "all you have to do is look." Daily Examen is a prayer that allows us to see that which is already there. It allows us to see those moments when God has been with us, as close as our very breath. So my prayer for you, Pinehurst United Methodists, in the week to come is that you would take time to pray to God, to reflect upon your day, to ask for forgiveness, and to experience God's grace. And if you do those 5 things, I promise you this, that you will see the God who is with you every step of the way. May God bless you this day and in the days to come.